Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you an awesome product that we just got all put together, and it's a complete kit from steering to your ABS wiring and the truss, obviously, for a JK30 into a WJ. I'm Charlie, I have that green WJ and the engine's still knocking. So with our swap truss, why would you want a JK30? It's actually just for a few reasons. It's a high pinion. There's so many more parts available on the market for it. You can get lockers for them. You can gear them. They're already 2 inches wider for your track width compared to what's stock on the actual WJ. And you have bigger brakes. So those reasons alone might be up my alley because I'm already using wheel spacers. But that's in the future. So let's walk through on what this truss actually looks like to get it put together. It's pretty simple kit and what we actually have for you, and it's very similar to our Dana 44. It's actually just going to be our top caps, and then you have your center sections that are all just pieced and tongue and grooved together, and your back plate and your front plate. All these parts are Iron Rock parts. We make them right here in Minnesota. That way then we can get them shipped to your door as soon as we can. Once this easy truss is actually pieced together, they're all 90-degree angles, so you can actually do a lot of the welding on the bench, which is always a plus in my mind because my welding skills are not the best. So in addition to it's very easy to assemble and actually get put together, there's a couple upgrades. Our kit actually includes these gussets just to support this known weak spot on the JKs right at the C's. They just go in, slight press fit. All you have to do, hit it with a hammer, and it fits perfectly. Other than that, you also delete the bar pins that are not always the best, but it's a super nice upgrade to have from heavy-duty shock mounts. And you can have 2 5/8 mounts for your LCAs or the stock WJ widths, because the WJ is wider by about 1/2 inch. All right, so we're starting here with a clean axle. I already went ahead and cut off all the brackets, got this nice and smooth for us, so then we could do the prototype and make sure everything fit. And on top of that, get this video knocked out for you, because we got a couple different plans for this axle. So stay tuned for anything that does come off. But my favorite tool to actually work with is just a Sawzall and a grinder. I actually used for the first time the plasma cutter, and it was kind of fun. So I might just use that from now on. But after you have everything cleaned off, straighten your axle. Make sure that it is a good axle that you can use. No cracking in the housing. Your tubes won't be bananaed or anything crazy. You have to make sure you have good bones before you put on any kind of time into any of your projects. Oh, you know what's funny? I gotta ground it. Note, I do not weld any of our products. Only my own shenanigans. Ooh, my crock. So with these C gussets, they are just a little bit tight at the top, so don't be afraid to actually just hit them in. You just gotta tap it. Just tap it.
Tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
Perfect. Woo! Still a little warm. But after it's at least tacked together, you do want to test fit everything to make sure, one, you're already square and 90, which we already checked, made sure these sidewalls are 90 to where that top plate is. And then you'll have a little bit of wiggle room here, but the highlight to this truss kit is everything is in the stock locations, from where the shock is to where we tell you to measure out for your LCAs, the track bar mount. It's a complete kit, and I can't think of any easier way to get it done. All right, once everything's stacked together, make sure everything fits just fine. In case you actually need to grind off your tubes anymore, you can end up kind of being lazy with it, depending on where all the previous welds and brackets actually landed. So it's like in if you have anything here, you don't have to worry about it. You're covering it with the truss. Or you can go the extra mile like I do every time. The nice thing about this is there is a cool line. If camera guy can actually get this on camera, and cross my fingers. But we etch all the locations for the nice spring buckets, which already is a huge upgrade because I know my WJ completely rusted out at the time. And we also etch the location for the passenger UCA if you do need it for a 4-link. So here's that super cool shock mount I was telling you about earlier in the video. It gets rid of the bar pins that would be their stock, and it's very simple location, just tabs right in. You'll tack it on, and then for the LCAs, depending on what you purchase, whether it's the 2 5/8 or the stock WJ width, they actually locate directly next to it, just flush with the side of the shock mount. Make sure you line up the spring mount right with that etch line that will be on that top plate. Then you just hold it still, tack it on the side. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and tack on the sway bar link mount. As you can see, the driver's and passenger side are different from each other. This short will actually get tacked over here for the passenger side. For the driver's side, you actually have this long taper version over here. And again, there's that nice slot. There's that nice tab, and it just goes together. All right, here's the track bar mount. Again, it just slides in right behind the bent tab. And if I can find the hole, it just goes in. And then from there, we'll get this tacked real quick. And then you'll take your sway bar mount right on the side and tab it in. You have a really nice weld joint on the corner, especially if you're an experienced welder. I'm probably gonna have someone else come in and do the full welds on this, but that'll be at a later date. They can actually fill that nice seam, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this tacked on. So with the truss sitting in its position, everything is tacked to the truss. It's still free from the axle because this is just test fitting at this point. You wanna make sure everything sits and fits perfectly fine. To get even more strength, you can actually weld to your cast parts. So we're just gonna go ahead and Sharpie where we wanna clean with the grinder. Because anything that you can weld together in one unison piece makes it that much stronger. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure we have contact on our C's. The differential in both halves, and the other C. We'll get this truss taken off, cleaned up, and we'll put it back on for a final weld. For even more strength, welding to the cast is just a good plan to do if you can. It's actually a lot easier than most people say. We're going to cover it in another video here in the future, but we're just getting everything marked out so we can get it cleaned. We'll preheat, and then we'll get everything welded. So now that everything's tacked in place, if you have a 4-link, we do offer a passenger UCA. It's the same for our 44 kit as well, just like camera guy has. He's using a 3-link. Between these two kits, they use the same exact steering, which huge benefit is the over-the-knuckle tie rod. We have a flip drag link, which is the perfect length for this wider track width that you'll get with either of these axles. And on top of that, both axles used near the stock location is the proper track bar for the WJ. So you don't have to purchase it if you don't need it for your actual kit. If it's not worn out, I wouldn't replace it. But we do offer it, especially for the double adjuster, which is huge when you do go to your taller lift heights. We also offer for the 44, the wiring for the locker. We offer the ABS wiring and longer brake hoses. It's a complete kit that you will not have to worry about at all after you get it installed. Don't forget to check this out at ironrockoffroad.com.
So Charlie, are you going to put this JK30 in your Jeep?
It's an option, but I kind of had some other ideas.
Oh yeah? Something crazy?
We'll have to see what I can afford.